Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Thanks for joining us again today. Today we have David Cohn. He's the head men's basketball coach of the Simpson University Redhawks. They started out like gangbusters last year. Coach Cohn wants to really keep this going this year and have Simpson's best year ever. Stay tuned. Cascade Hoops Talk starts right now. Cascade Hoops Talk, produced in the shadow of the beautiful Cascade Mountains and bringing the world NAIA basketball. One podcast at a time. Hey, today we have David Cohn. He's the head men's basketball coach, Simpson University. They are the Redhawks. Simpson is a school that, you'll hear me in the interview. To me, as an old guy, it's still the new school. But it's been around, boy, it was in the late 80s or something. They started as a school and they started playing basketball. It was many years later they joined the NAIA, but they've come a long way as a university. We'll talk about that with Coach, and the athletic programs there have come a long way too. I saw Simpson play in the Valley. That's Corbin and Bushnell last year. They looked really, really good in the preseason. They struggled a bit mid-season. I don't know if teams figured them out or, maybe their shooting just dropped off a bit, but they have high potential. This program is really ready to break out. David Cohn wants to be the one to get them there. And let's take a listen to David Cohn, head men's basketball coach, Simpson University Redhawks. Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Hey, I got David Cohn on the phone. He's the head men's basketball coach, Simpson University Redhawks. Thanks, Coach, for being on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. Thanks for all you do for NAIA Hoops. It's great to follow it every year.
You know, I finally got to meet you. Well, I met you. Bushnell was the first time I met you. I was able to interview you post-game, but I've never had you on for a little bit deeper interview, so I really enjoy this opportunity. A lot of people don't know that you played at Wayland Baptist, right?
Yeah, I played at both Biola University and Wayland Baptist. Yep.
That's right. So you were familiar with NAIA basketball. It was no surprise to you. You've been at different levels, both as a coach and a player. Well, I guess Biola was NAIA when you were there, wasn't it?
That's right. They were in the GSAC back then. Yep.
How do you think, I ask every coach this that's been at different levels, how would you compare NAIA basketball to the various levels?
Yeah, it's a great question. I certainly don't have all the answers for it. I was at Biola as a coach when we transitioned from being an NAIA school to a NCAA Division II school. And so went from, sort of coaching from at one level to the next. And I would say it's pretty comparable. Like I think the top of the NAIA is definitely D2 caliber teams. And, there might be a little bit more disparity between the tiers, but yeah, the NAIA level is very good, and certainly there's a lot of talent, a lot of great coaches, a lot of great leagues. So it's been fun to get back to this level and try to get this thing going in the right direction and keep it going here at Simpson.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's kind of the consensus is the top, just pick a number, 50, 75 teams in the NAIA are pretty comparable, but the NAIA slips off. The curve is a little bit steeper after that first 75 than it is in D2. That's kind of a consensus. It's always an interesting conversation.
It is, yeah. Well, I will add to that too. Like when I played at Biola and we were in the GSAC, and pretty much most of those GSAC teams transitioned to the Pac West, to the Division II league, and those have been some of the top teams in the Division II conference. So I think it's really, that top tier is really good in the NAIA, and that's proven just with that transition alone. You're talking about the Concordia Irvines and Azusa Pacifics and Biolas and on and on and on, all those teams that were there. So I think you're right.
And you see NAIA players who transfer over to Division I that senior year, and they many times will dominate. Riley Minnick's down. He was player of the year in the conference down there. Jake O'Neal, he really had a great year. Obviously, Elijah Malone, starting center at Colorado. Coach, before we talk basketball, I want to talk to you about Simpson. It's a school that's been around. To me, as an old guy, it's still a new school, but it's been around a number of years now. And I've noticed more and more it in the media. I notice more and more Southern Oregon kids are starting to go down there. It seems like it's built some programs, and I know some of this has been through athletics, but there seems to be more of a draw to Simpson. How are things going at the university?
It's wonderful here. It's really thriving. There's been growth the last couple of years, and I wish I had some stats for you, but I should have done my research on that. But the school is definitely growing. Part of that, we had a football a few years ago, and then the nursing program has really grown recently, and there's just been a lot of great momentum heading in the right direction as far as the student population. It's really a wonderful campus and a wonderful situation. I don't know if many people have really been on campus. Sometimes, like Reading isn't right in the middle of the city, and so it's not a place people can just often stop and take a peek onto the campus. But we got great facilities. Our gym is a smaller gym, but it's really nice, and we got a great weight room, and it's like a true campus life here. It's not a school where you sort of drive on campus and drive off campus. Most everybody lives in the dorms, eats in the cafeteria, goes to class here on campus. So it's a really great situation that way. And I think because of that, there's been really an effort with the leadership to grow things. And it's not, you can't take that for granted these days. It's really tough, I think, for most higher education, especially private school higher education, but we've been able to grow. So I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I wanted to ask you about your camp too, because at least on Twitter, I saw a lot about it. I see a lot of kids, again, even from Southern Oregon, went down there. How was your camp this summer?
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. I haven't done a ton of prospect camps in the past, but felt like that was a good thing to get going. So we had a really good one in the spring, and then my goal was to sort of get one here in the fall and get some. It was just high school kids. This one that we did, there were no transfers. There's nobody that was older, so it was really good to get a good group of guys in here, and they really competed. And it's just fun to get a bunch of guys on campus and show them what we have to offer, and I think get them excited too for. Like sometimes when you're in the middle of being recruited, you're working hard every day, but you don't get to see what it might look like. And so I think my sense leaving that camp that day was that there was a number of high school kids who were just thrilled to see, oh, I could end up at a school like this. This would be great. So that was fun.
Really just kind of helps spread that name, that Simpson name. Last year, you and I talked before we started, but last year I was able to watch you play early in the season. You looked really good. You beat a couple of really competitive Cascade Conference teams, Corbin and Bushnell. In the Cascade Conference, we call that sweep in the valley. It's one of the toughest road trips in the conference. You were able to pull it off early season. Things got a little tougher for you as the season went on. What do you kind of attribute that to, and what lessons did you walk away from last season?
That's an excellent question. Yeah, certainly many lessons from it. I think we were at times a good team last year, and we were pretty inconsistent though. And so there's certain things on the court we got to be better with, and that starts with me. And then there's certain things just, it's just establishing the culture in the right way as far as going to how we go about our business every day. And I think when I look back at last year, a lot of good moments, a lot of guys I'm going to be close to forever, but the inconsistencies, the highs and lows, there was a big disparity there. And so goal this year would just be learn from that, be a resilient team who's going to bring it every day. And that's in practice, that's in the games. And you'll get a pretty steady outcome if you're going about it the right way each day.
So Coach, this season out on the recruiting trail, what were some of your goals, some holes you were trying to fill? What were you trying to accomplish, and how did recruiting go this season?
Yeah, we lost a lot from last year's team. Last year was a pretty old team, and so we'd had a lot to replace there. And I think it was just looking, one thing I kept thinking about all off season was Dave Holmquist, my mentor, my former boss at Biola. He played for Don Johnson when Don Johnson was the coach at Cypress Junior College or Cypress Community College, and Don had played for John Wooden, and he's one of the all-time winningest coaches in California junior college history, and he would always talk about TSU, tough, smart, unselfish. Okay. And I think Jeff Redder uses that over at Arizona Christian also. But I think when I was thinking about recruiting, a lot of it comes down to those three attributes. If you can find people who are tough, smart, and unselfish, that lays the foundation to have a good program and to maybe go about things consistently. Like I mentioned earlier, I just felt like we were a little too inconsistent. So that was a big emphasis, and just I really was trying to find to sort of bridge that gap between I love coaching younger guys and developing them, and at the same time, like I really know that I couldn't just recruit 9 or 10 freshmen. Obviously, like we were going to have to go get some transfers. So it ended up being a little bit more transfer heavy than I even planned or expected it to be. But I feel really good about who we got. Obviously, we were just getting everybody on campus and just getting started. So it's too early to say for sure how it went. But I think we got the right guys in the building. I think we got high character guys. I think we got guys who compete hard. And I think we will keep chipping away at getting better every day. And that's my goal for the year.
Hey, Coach, how hard is it to explain to a young man, a freshman coming in, he's 18, to explain to him the difference between him and a 20-year-old and why he's not maybe getting as much playing time? The difference between the two is it's almost hard to even imagine the difference those 2 years make.
Yeah. I love when a guy's a freshman and he goes away for the summer and comes back as a sophomore. And he's just more mature, stronger, when he's had a really good off season. But when you have 2 summers like that, like you're saying, between the 18-year-old and the 20-year-old, sometimes there's a big difference there. So, I think like something I've always told freshmen is, like in high school, you feel like you're playing hard, and you are. I mean, it's not like you don't play hard in high school, but I think when you go to the next level, there's a whole nother gear of playing hard. And so when guys are as physical and tough as they are, because you're playing with older guys, you got to find a way to also get your motor up to play at that level. And a lot of times that's what's maybe holding people back when they're freshmen, and then they figure that out as they get a little bit older.
Isn't there a big strength factor as well, though? Because sometimes they're going up against 23-year-old men, and they just get manhandled in the paint.
Yeah, definitely. That can be, depending on the person, that can be a huge deal.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about the conference. It's struggling, probably not a word you would use, but looking at this from afar, you only have 10 CalPAC games. You were able to bring in Northern New Mexico and Nelson this season. How tough is that for you to fill a schedule, Coach? You only have 10 conference games.
Yeah, that's been tough. Yeah, there's no way around it. That's been tough. Our location,
yeah, because you're kind of isolated up there.
Yeah, and then also there's not a lot of like some of those former NAIA schools now in Division II. Like we'll use Jessup as an example. They're in Sacramento, not too far away, and we've always sort of played them through the year. We are going to play them this year, but now they're Division II, so they're worried about the Division II ratings and that type of stuff, which I understand. So there's some of that, like them in Menlo and some of the other schools that transitioned recently. So yeah, it's made it tough. We just do the best we can. Of course, everybody's got tight budgets, at every school just to try to make travel work. And so we're trying to be selective with where we go and what we do, but got to give these guys a good experience, got to get good teams on the schedule and give ourselves a shot to get better and then see how far we can go this year.
Well, it was good. The conference did a good job bringing in Northern New Mexico and Nelson. That's going to help. So you only get, you're going to play a tournament this year, and then the winner of the tournament gets the single bid. Is that the way it's going to work again?
Yep, that's right. Yep. So we're a 1-bid league, so we got to win that tournament at the end. And just to clarify too, I don't know, maybe it doesn't show right on our schedule, but Nelson, they're doing something where actually Nelson's not in our conference. They're not in the NAIA, but they're hosting like a neutral site game with us in Northern New Mexico. So that's what that is. And actually Stanton is the second team down in Southern California.
Yeah, on your schedule, It's got the Nelson game marked as CalPAC, so that's my mistake.
Okay. We'll have to change that.
Yeah. So it is Stanton. That's right. It's Stanton. And Stanton's down like in Southern California or somewhere, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yep. We'll do a home and home.
Home and home. Garden Grove. Where's Garden Grove?
It's down there sort of on the border of LA and Orange County.
Oh, wow. That's way down there for you.
Yeah. So them and Westcliff, they'll be fairly close to each other.
Yeah. It makes it nice. You can do it in a single road trip. So, Coach, are you having fun yet? Are you really looking forward to this season? Are you ready yet? Are the guys on campus? What's going on?
Yeah, guys are here. At the beginning here, we can't do too much, but they've been working hard in the weight room, running, getting in better shape, and I'm hopeful for the year. Yeah, we'll see where it goes. it's just too early to say exactly how things are going to shake out, of course, but I'm thankful that we got a good group here, and I already see that they're hungry to have some success, and so I'm definitely looking forward to the journey.
I want to make sure and mention that, everybody remembers from last season, he had a really dynamic player, Dre Ubas. I might be saying his last name wrong. But he was the 2025 CalPAC Male Scholar Athlete of the Year. You were mentioning the kids getting in school and getting in class. I think it's always rewarding to see a guy who really excels on the court and excels in the classroom. I mean, that's what it's all about. You should be very proud of what he was able to accomplish.
Oh, absolutely. Dre Ubas is a special human, special guy. I mean, if you watch us play, I think he's listed at 5'8". I mean, I don't think he's 5'8". But he is a great, phenomenal shooter and a great competitor and a great person. And that showed. He's got great habits, like his habits showed by how he did in the classroom and who he was off the court as a connector of people. And so I'm very, very fortunate to have coached him, and it'll be fun to see. I think, he's trying to get over to the Philippines and play. Hopefully that'll work out for him.
Oh, yeah.
So that'd be great if that did work out.
Yeah, I got to interview him there in Eugene. He was a fun interview, and he's got a high motor.
Yeah, he does. I feel like he really learned to compete. He really just loved to compete. And I guess when you're 5'6" or whatever, 5'7", you got to compete. That's the only way you're going to be out there. But yeah, he helped us a ton. We're going to miss him on the court, off the court, but really thankful that I got to get 2 years with him.
He was a really strong leader, wasn't he?
Yeah, but more of a quiet leader. He wasn't a big rah guy. He would just, I just call him a connector. He could just really connect with people, and sometimes that meant being a little bit loud. Sometimes it was just a quiet conversation in the corner, but he was good at that.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate you giving us some time. Wish you a lot of luck when that CalPAC starts. We'll see if we can, I'm going to see if I can get down there to Reading for that one tournament you and I talked about. I'll have to get a hold of you for that, but I'm hoping to get you back on at some point during the season, and maybe a post game after a big win somehow. I hope that'll work for you.
Yeah, no, thanks. Yeah, appreciate it. And anytime you want to reach out, you got my number, so give me a call. I'll be happy to chat.
Okay, Coach, I appreciate it. That's Coach David Cohn. He's the head men's basketball coach, Simpson University Redhawks. Thank you, Coach. Hey, thank you to David Cohn, and of course to Simpson University. There in the CalPAC. That conference has some challenges. There's not a lot of schools to draw from. We'll have to see how that plays out, but they'll figure it out. But it's something to keep an eye on. Hey, thank you. That's it for this week. We'll be back on Monday. Again, I want to say how much I appreciate everybody's response. Tell everybody about the show and tell everybody about NAIA basketball. This is Billy D. Talk to you Monday. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAIA school, because NAIA basketball is the best entertainment value in America.